Well, hello friends, pro-life leader Frank Pavone here, National Director of Priests for Life, bringing you my daily diary segment. What did I do from Monday, August 14th, 2023 through Friday, August 18th of 2023. Monday, I started off here early, went downtown to do a little bit of shopping in the morning for groceries. They open at 7. Went there, came back, unloaded things, got on the phone with our administrative team, had our morning staff briefing at 8:30, got ready for the work of the day with the staff, and then, and interspersed throughout the meetings I'm going to tell you about, I did the following, dealt with the following topics on my email and communications. Our election calendar online, telling people what's coming up in different states. The communication with Legatus, the Catholic CEOs organization with which we've had a relationship for decades. State pro-life leaders, in communication with them and in communication regarding the pro-life battles in Ohio. Other communication with pro-life leaders regarding the Legacy of Life book that came out, highlighting 50 key pro-life leaders. Communication about pro-life legal action against the abortion industry. Letter of recommendation that I prepared for somebody. The approval of our newsletter. Articles that we are quoted in, helped give some input to our website team about organizing those. Had a quote in Newsweek with communication with the reporter about that. Looking at some potential ballot initiatives coming up on the pro-abortion side and planning to defend against that. Upcoming trip plans, and also a parish fax relating to the celebration on the 14th of St. Maximilian Kolbe, and reminding people of his criticism of the Nazi political regime for their anti-life, anti-freedom views, and reminding them that it tells us something about a party like that in America today. Did further work with staff, 10:30 meeting with our technology department, 11 o'clock meeting with our executive director and Mark from our administrative team as well, making some upcoming plans. Quick lunch and then some more work on the matters that I mentioned. At 2:30, a meeting with our executive director and the resource department team, and went back to my desk, more work of the things I mentioned, and then back here in the studio at 4 o'clock for taping for our evening's program called Praying for America. Got end of day updates from the staff, quick dinner break, and then at 7 p.m. I did a live interview with America's frontline doctors. You may know about Dr. Simone Gold and many of these other medical professionals who have stood up for freedom of conscience and the right to life. So I did, starting at 7 p.m., went for about an hour and 15 minutes or so, answered their questions, talked to them about the work I do. They were very favorably impressed, and I enjoyed being with them. Okay, that was Monday the 15th. Tuesday the 15th of August, Feast of the Assumption. Up early with various work at my desk, usual contact with administration, 8:30 staff briefing. Items I dealt with at my desk, communication with our videographer, plans for upcoming trips. Plans regarding further distribution of our special video called Killed in Darkness. This was a big funeral for aborted babies that we held back in 2008, and we're redeploying it in preparation for the National Day of Remembrance, which I co-founded. Preparation for a call with pro-life leaders, follow up on a meeting that we had with activists in the Orlando area last week, helping with leaders who needed to connect with one another, and also helping our web department in terms of information regarding our endabortion.tv page, our online channel. Special meeting at 10:15 with some of our administration and website and social media departments in regard to endabortion.tv, actually, making ongoing improvements in that. Then came here in the studio with Janet, our executive director, to tape at 11 a.m., one of the evening programs for the coming week. As soon as that was finished at 11:45, went into another meeting with some of our technology people and took care of that. Had lunch, more work at my desk on the topics I mentioned, and then 3 p.m. joined an online meeting with various national pro-life leaders together with Kellyanne Conway, talking about the abortion issue and polling and elections. Well, as soon as that meeting was finished, I came back in the studio and had a 4 p.m. taping of our evening program. That went well, getting end-of-day updates from staff, got some dinner, and then had a phone meeting at 8 o'clock with Mark from our administrative team. Wednesday, the 16th of August, early in the morning, our videographer came by, Kurt, who comes down every once in a while from New Jersey, and we taped here in the studio some early morning spots. Connected with administration while having some breakfast, connected with our staff at our 8:30 meeting, and as soon as that 8:30 meeting was done, went on an interview by Zoom at 9 a.m. For a half hour. Did that interview, and then various work at my desk involving communications with Legatus, with Congressman Chris Smith, with the CareNet organization, their upcoming conference I'll be attending, with our data department regarding mailings we're sending out to bishops and donors, with regard to our monthly statement, getting the text updated for that for the mailing to go out in September, working on some opinion pieces, and also working on our upcoming Radio Maria shows. And then at 11 o'clock, I had, we organized, and I was with Janet, our executive director, for a Zoom meeting of national pro-life leaders. So we had a good, healthy number of leaders. I think we had about 35 leaders. We're talking about the Ohio abortion battle and similar efforts in other states. We're doing coordination of all these different leaders. That was at 11. At 11:45, I went into a meeting with one of our web technicians and talked about some online data that we had to pull together. Had some lunch, and then went back into the studio at 1 p.m. and did a whole series of tapings for upcoming programs during the time that I'll be traveling. And speaking of traveling, then at 3:15 was picked up to go to Orlando Airport. While I was in the car, I spoke with one of our priests who assists us in various ways for Priests for Life. Had a phone call with him, and then got to the airport, checked in, then had 2 phone calls with pro-life legal experts on the phone in terms of legal advocacy for the unborn, that is, and they were asking my assistance on various things and getting me some information. So I had those 2 phone calls while waiting for the plane, and then took a plane to White Plains Airport, New York, for a visit to home. I landed kind of late, went home and right to bed. Then Thursday, the 17th of August, I was at home visiting with my mom. So we had some time together there, and brought the car for its annual inspection there downtown in Port Chester, and then came back home. We had some lunch. I went to the local fish store, one of our favorite spots. Did various work. We sat outside and enjoyed a good day. It was overcast, so the sun wasn't beating down too hard. At 1 o'clock, I had a phone call with a reporter. So I had a good half-hour conversation with her, the reporter from the Epic Times, and had another phone call from a pro-life broadcaster, and then continued visiting with my family, dinner together. And then after dinner, I drove down to New Jersey, to the Jersey Shore, and just by myself. And there's a spot down there that I like very much called Seaside Heights, and many of you may be familiar with that. Friday the 18th was an unusual day. Usually one day out of the year I take a disconnect day, a day where I literally do not do any business, no emails, don't even look at my cell phone, don't even look at a computer screen. And Friday the 18th was one of those days. I was down in New Jersey and actually went to this Seaside Heights boardwalk. We had been going there from our youth, and my brother and I and the family. So each year I like to stop off there for a day, and this was my disconnect day. It was refreshing. Was just by myself, but I enjoy very much seeing all the people enjoying the boardwalk and the good seafood there. I like clams on the half shell. It's one of my favorite things. And as I had a very enjoyable day there on the shore, and that was the full day of the 18th. Went to bed early because I had to catch an early flight the next morning out of Newark Airport. But Friday was truly a day of relaxation and regeneration with the summer fun. And that was it from the 14th to the 18th of August of 2023. Thanks for watching these daily diaries. I hope your work is going well and your advocacy for the unborn. We are very grateful for that here at Priests for Life. Let's continue praying for each other and keeping each other up to date. Thanks for your support. God bless.